and we are back. Today we have Keely Fischbach with us, and Keely has her, well, not a kickboxing debut, but she's making her NLC debut next Saturday at New Line Cagefighting 24 against Kelsey Elmore. So Kelsey is 2-0 MMA, and so Keely, you have had, is it one kickboxing match so far?
Yes, sir.
Owen, so you lost your debut in Indiana?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So tell me about your kickboxing debut. What led you into that? How did everything go?
Yeah. So it actually went really well. We were kind of surprised by the decision. I probably threw 150 kicks the whole match. My background is Taekwondo, so that's kind of
Okay.
where the kickboxing comes into play. It went really well. It was three 3-minute rounds. But just it came by the points basically that
Yeah.
kind of ate me alive with the punches. But we've been working on that a lot, been training it really hard, so we're coming out swinging this time.
Awesome. I believe Kelsey, if I'm not mistaken, is more of a grappler, and she's been putting a focus on her stand-up, and so that one reason she's going to take a kickboxing match is to work more for that. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I didn't know you had a Taekwondo background.
Yep.
And that explains the kicks. I've seen some Taekwondo competitions, and you'll watch a whole tournament, might see 2 punches thrown the whole time.
Exactly.
So
I started when I was 3 years old. I did it for about 18 years. I'm a 3-time world champion and
wow,
everything. And I kind of got bored with it. I was like, I want a little bit more. So
yeah,
I've done jujitsu, I've done everything, and I've kind of just bounced around to like, what competition can I get right now? Like, what can I do right now?
yeah. So how
Kind of.
far did you go in Taekwondo? I mean, I know you can go all the way to the Olympics in that, and I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm a 4-3 black belt. I'm a fully trained instructor and everything. I've just competed at like a world level. I never went to the Olympics necessarily. I was training for the Olympics. And then that kind of got derailed by school plans, training for worlds, because like the worlds and the Olympic training is kind of like opposite.
Yeah,
Um, so I just really wanted to focus on my world titles and everything because that's what I was really striving for. Um, but yeah, that's kind of where we went.
okay. So what got you into kickboxing?
Just I've loved kicking ever since I found that I'm good at it. Because when I started Taekwondo when I was 3, I was like, okay, I'm not great at this. Like I was 8 years old, I'm not good at this. Like I'm never gonna be good at it. And I was like, oh, okay, like we're starting to pick it up a little bit more.
Yeah,
Um, and then Taekwondo, there's just so many rules, honestly, that kind of just like as I got older, I was like, this is kind of crazy without
yeah.
me kind of being the PG version. It's kind of crazy. And so I started training Muay Thai and kickboxing with my SBG family. And then that
Okay.
really just took it off. It was like, this is a whole new world. I can actually punch you in the face. This is great. Like, I can kick to the leg too. Even better. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So you started in Atlanta, right? Or was it Alabama?
Atlanta. Yeah.
Atlanta. So you
Yep.
went from Georgia, Alabama, and now you're in Lexington.
Yep.
And so you're with I know it's not, I guess not really. Do you guys have a team name at your gym, or
We just
just
call
is
it the
it
garage.
the garage? Okay. So
Yep.
tell me about your team, your coaches.
Yeah, so my coach, MB, they're actually from California. So they have trained with a huge team, huge Muay Thai community out in California. If you've ever been out west, you know it's absolutely crazy out there with that community. So
Hmm.
they've been fortunate enough to come back. They're originally from here, came back, and we've just drilled and drilled and drilled, have crazy sparring sessions. We just invite anybody that we who has an engine who's ready to freaking
Yeah.
kick it off, and we just go after it in the garage. Honestly, it's a great time. It makes you learn a lot, like you see things because we're all from like different areas, like me being
Yeah.
from Atlanta, MB's from California, somebody else is from Michigan. We're kind of all sporadic, so we all have different styles, so we all come together and it's just crazy, like all of our minds are blown by just like everything that's getting put together. And we're like, okay, what did we just do? Like, we really have to break it down. Like, what did you just do again? Can you show me that? But yeah, it's a great little family. It's great to have
Yeah.
everybody come together. Like, martial arts brings everybody together. I've always seen that my whole life.
Yeah.
And so it's better to be in another environment too and just seeing it, everything.
So
Yeah.
you guys, is it really kickboxing gym, or do you guys do like mixed martial arts, grappling?
We're more like Muay Thai
Uh-huh.
kickboxing. Um, Everybody has a little bit of grappling experience, but we don't really like. None of us has had a fight or something, a competition that comes up with grappling recently. So we're
Okay.
just like, let's just kick,
Yeah.
kick, punch. And B loves to throw elbows. I'm like, all right, let's bring the elbows back a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, I guess the elbows is gonna be more of a pro thing if you get, and especially Muay Thai. And I know there's not really any of that in Kentucky. I was asking about that. I don't think we're even allowed to have Muay Thai events in Kentucky right now.
that's
So I
what I've
think,
heard. Yeah, that's what I've
yeah,
heard, and I kind of was thrown back by it a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah,
West Virginia used to have it, and then I was putting some Muay Thai events on, or Muay Thai fights on an event in 2019, and I was having trouble finding the rules. Somebody was asking me like about the differences in pro and amateur, so I went to the athletic commission like, hey, I'm just looking for the rule set because I couldn't find it on their website. They're like, yeah, it's on there, and I was like, is it? So they told me it was legal, and then they started looking around and they found out that it was illegal, so I had to cancel those
huh,
fights.
dang.
So yeah, that was one way. I shouldn't have asked. should have just
Yeah,
made my
exactly.
should have just made my own rules or something. Just
Better to ask
not
for
say anything.
forgiveness.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something I've been wanting to do. We our only way around it is we can schedule people in MMA fights and just say don't take each other down. just
There you go.
just stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, that's definitely Muay Thai is definitely something I want to get into. Bare knuckle, not me myself, but I want to promote it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bare knuckle is something we definitely want here.
Yeah, that's been growing a
But
lot too. So,
yes, it has, and it's crazy because I know boxing all used to be bare knuckle, and
hmm
then they started really pushing for the gloves, and bare knuckles illegal everywhere, and now it's making a comeback.
yeah. Well,
Kind of
the
crazy.
generation started getting softer, and then
Yeah,
people were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, no, 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 we're not soft."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's yeah. Some people are made for it.
Oh, absolutely. That's a different breed, honestly, right
Yeah,
there.
Mike Perry. He was a good MMA fighter. Just never going to be a world champion UFC or anything. But now he's
Yep.
just absolutely killing it in bare knuckle boxing.
Well, he's just a
And
brawler. You just look at him,
yeah,
and you're like, "Okay, buddy." The one that
yeah,
surprised me was Paige Van Zant. She went there. I was like, "Oh, what are we
yeah,
doing?"
yeah.
But each
She's
their
doing a
own.
little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Paige is busy.
Yeah, which is very surprising because, like,
Yeah.
she was all right in the UFC, I think, but whatever.
So, yeah, there's some of them that I know the ones that get into those absolute wars. They would probably do well in bare knuckle because I see a lot of that. Some people just can't take the damage, and
hmm
like they just go down. Like, that hurt. Taking a knee. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. Um, so what do you know about your opponent? I'm sure you've looked into her. I know we've only had this fight matched up for a few days, but what do you think?
Yeah, so I've actually not done uh much looking into her because we did so much research on my last opponent
Yeah.
that and we had that for 3 months or whatever, most of the year.
Hmm.
We were preparing for her, we were getting ready for her, and then all of a sudden everything happened. And so my mindset this week has just been like, I'm gonna go do my game, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out there. My coach has looked into her a little bit, hasn't really seen much out there,
Yeah.
but we've done so much training at this point that there's no point to really change the game plan. That we're gonna go out there, we're gonna swing, we're gonna have a brawl.
Just
Honestly,
go do your thing. Yeah.
exactly.
That was unfortunate for Ava, and I know Ava really wanted to fight, and she still wanted to do it, but the doctor said no way. Um, so
Yeah.
believe she had some herniated discs like in her
Oof.
neck area. So it was, that was not good. She was still trying to push through, and it was just, she
Yeah.
was wanting to do it, but she was, she was told no. But
I've
she'll
I've
be back.
experienced
Yeah.
I've had athletes with herniated disc because I was a strength conditioning coach at
Yeah.
UK and everything. So I know it's not easy to go through, so that does suck. And like we were all
Yeah.
looking forward to it too. So
Yeah.
like
She'll be back. And we've got Lily from West Virginia. That's a potential opponent.
Nobody else is getting shots to
Hope
them in the
McNeely from West Virginia, potential opponent. So we're finally starting to see female fighters come around.
mhm.
It's been, we've only had a few fights for women at New Line Cage Fighting, and I've had
Yeah.
people ask, "Do you allow women to fight?" I'm like, we do. It's just we can't find two of them in the same weight class. So we
Exactly.
got
That's
like
what like I
one.
was talking to a lot of people about, and they're like, "Why is it so hard?" I'm like, "The female like pool around here is so hard because you have
Yeah,
literally a handful of us who just want to go, and then everybody else
yeah,
they're hard to find or don't want to fight. Like they just want to train. So
yeah. There's a
yeah,
lot. I know at Reaction MMA there are a ton of women, but I think they're more like casual, maybe doing it for the exercise or self defense even.
yeah,
There's a lot of ladies that train there, but I don't think they're training to fight. I think they're really just training to train.
yeah. I
Um,
also think they're more like jujitsu as well.
yeah,
Because when
yeah.
I was training there, I was the only female there for a little bit for a couple of the classes that I went to.
And
Um,
yeah, you must have been going to the striking classes, or was it the
mhm,
MMA? Yeah,
the
the
striking.
jujitsu classes. There's a lot of ladies.
Oh,
So
absolutely, yeah. And they have a great competition scene for
yeah.
jujitsu.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's going to change probably. I'm not going to say like right away, but within 10 years with these Kentucky. I don't know if it's this year or next year. Maybe it's next year. They're going to have sanctioned girls wrestling in high school.
yeah.
Pennsylvania has it. West Virginia has it.
I believe
Um,
Ohio has it too, don't they?
yeah, I
Yeah,
I think I would say so. If West Virginia has something, I would assume everybody else already has it. They're always the
yeah,
last to get. They're always the last. Um,
yeah.
but I know Pennsylvania has it, and then even like women's college wrestling is growing. So a lot of those girls are going to come out of there, and I mean that's like the natural next step is to go into MMA, because I mean if you're not going into the Olympics as a wrestler, what are you doing? Um,
Exactly. And you don't want to lose that competition. Like that was my main
right?
thing. Like I didn't want to lose my competition. And luckily I
Yeah,
have a sport that I can literally do at any age, honestly.
yeah.
Um, so I know that's gonna be like the same thing with those wrestlers. Like, because Iowa has a really good wrestling program, really big wrestling program.
Hmm.
But once they graduate, like, what are they gonna do? You know?
Yeah, yeah. One of our fighters, she fought Ava actually in September. Was just hired as a college wrestling coach in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Was it
So
Carly Joe?
Carly, yeah,
Yeah.
Carly Joe, yeah. So she is now coaching college wrestling for a women's team in Pennsylvania. So
Heck yeah.
yeah,
It's
first year having a
awesome.
program. So I mean, it's definitely growing. So the women's MMA is going to blow up soon.
Yeah. I mean, we've kept on saying that, but
Yeah,
I'm like crossing my fingers that it's coming pretty soon.
it's been slow. I mean, Ronda Rousey played a big role in that. I remember Dana White always saying, "We'll never have women's MMA here." And then
Yep.
and then Ronda burst onto the scene at Strikeforce and was headlining pay-per-views for them. And then so
Mhm.
Dana, of course,
Said,
they signed
okay.
Ronda, and they build the women's league around her, and now they're expanding their weight classes, and it's growing. So
They need
it's
it,
it's
honestly, because it's hard to
mhm.
fit females in that tiny little weight class that they have.
Yeah, yeah. They had, was it 135 and then 115, and then I think
Yep.
at some point they added the 25. So
They have 25 and 45 has become a little bit more popular too. Because
yeah,
you
yeah,
had Amanda Nunes in there, Cyborg, I believe, got up there in a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, you had Amanda had the 35 and the 45 titles at one time. Um,
exactly.
yeah,
Well, she's
so
just built different. She's a different breed.
yes, she's a beast.
Yeah.
Um, I guess she's hung it up now, but yeah, Cyborg is still going. Cyborg's getting into pro boxing now.
Yeah.
doing well at it. So
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy with like the martial arts world. You can jump from whatever really that you want to go into. Like, I don't
yeah,
want to really punch and kick anymore. I just want to do a little bit more like ground game. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Shoot, just the jujitsu is growing now as they're having just like jujitsu cards, like super. I guess like
Yeah.
I don't know if you call them super fights or what. I don't know, but we have jujitsu at our events now, but it's I mean, I see them on UFC Fight Pass and then things like that. They'll have 1,000 people at a jujitsu event. So
Yeah. There's the gym I trained at down in Alabama. Um, one of the guys, they broke off into another gym and they started putting on just jujitsu cards. And it was just
mhm.
like it blew up down there. Everybody's like, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna go on this jujitsu card. And they were having like once a week, second like 2 times a week. It was
yeah.
crazy. But yeah.
I hope it grows here. We it's funny, we get complaints about having jujitsu. We're like, people like, hey, I paid for a ticket to watch a fight, not two people to wrestle around. So that's
Really?
why, if you've ever been to our events, we have usually at 4, we'll start jujitsu at 4:30 or 5, and then
Yeah.
have like 2 hours of grappling and then a little break, and then we go into the main fight card. We used to mix it up. We would have like, maybe 2 intermissions on the fight card, and we would fill that with jujitsu matches. So like, while the commissioners are using the restroom, getting a bite to eat, we would have jujitsu matches, and
Okay, yeah.
then we were
I
getting
actually went back to
complaints.
y'all's
Yeah.
I went to y'all's fight back in December that you had in Lexington. Because I know we
Okay.
talked a little bit before that one
Yeah.
and just like nothing fell in place. And so I was like, I just want to go look at the fights. And it was fun because I knew a couple guys on the card.
hmm
So it was fun to be there. And I had a couple guys be like, you should be on this. I was like, funny story.
We tried.
Yeah. That's like now we're here.
Yeah. I was so worried. I was so worried on this one. When your fight fell through, because I just know how hard it is to match these fights. I'm like, I
Yeah.
kept telling you, I was like, I hope she believes me that I'm trying. I'm reaching out to people,
Yeah.
and I hadn't tried Kelsey yet, and I went to go message her, and then I went ahead and messaged her coach instead, and he asked some details, and then within like 10-15 minutes we had a match. But I was
Yeah.
waiting on, I think I was like talking to a girl in Ohio and a girl in West Virginia, and they were both like maybe, and they were told me, I think they'll let me know on Tuesday or something like that. And
Oh,
then Tuesday they both told me no.
oh
And then
God.
yeah, and then hit up asked about Kelsey, and then she took it like right away. So
Oh, yeah,
um
that made my week because I actually graduated my master's degree yesterday, and I was
yeah,
focused on
congratulations.
that the whole week. And then like we were messaging back and forth. I was like, "Please give me a fight."
Yeah,
And then you messaged me. I was like, "Thank the Lord!" Like I was with my boyfriend. I was like, "We got one. We're
yeah.
good."
I was talking to, I guess, one of your friends, because they were going to get their refunds on their tickets, and I was like,
Mhm.
give me like a few hours. I'm working on
Yeah,
something.
because like I
So
wasn't telling anybody because I was like, "All right, we're gonna wait until we
yeah,
had it." And then like somebody told her, like somebody spilled the beans or whatever, and I like
yeah.
popped in and I was like, I don't know. And then she was like, I messaged and I was like, oh God.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she hit me up. I was like, yeah, give me a few hours. I'm like, I'm waiting on, but and it was on those other two, and then they told me no, and I was like, I was about to go ahead and refund her, but
Yeah.
I said, wait, let me try one more.
Yeah. No, that I
So
literally walked
yeah,
into the
Kelsey
gym the
came
next
through
day. I
for
was
us.
like, we got one. We're
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. I'm excited. Hopefully we can get more of your teammates on in the future. I don't know if any of them are like really competing, but
Mhm.
this card is stacked. I mean, like, we have so many locals on the card. Let's see, we have 19 fights on the card, and let's see, I'm gonna see just how many are from Lexington. Like one, no, two, three, four. I don't know. Almost, I would say like 90% of these fights have somebody from here in the city on the card.
Yeah.
A
I
couple of them we
know a
have like
few
Lexington
guys.
versus Lexington on the card. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Because that was originally like Ava and I were both gonna be Lexington versus
yeah,
Lexington.
yeah.
So it's gonna be funny.
Our first event here in September, we had like 4 of the hybrid fighters, and everybody else was from out of state, pretty much. So
Oh
we
gosh.
just couldn't get anybody. We had another one scheduled here actually last May that I had to cancel. We I had it up to like 12 fights, and then like with injuries and stuff, we fell down to 4 matches. None of the fighters were from Lexington. Or no, we had one fighter from Lexington on the whole card out of 4 fights. I canceled it like 2 or 3 weeks before. It just fell apart. And then here we are now with,
Crap.
19 fights on a card and several people wanting on the card. And I'm like, no, we have too much. I just
Yeah.
I can't fit you in.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome though.
yeah,
That's just telling you like how much your brand really has built too. And like
yeah,
how the community around here has too.
yeah, we had no brand when I started. I think we had at that time we had held 16 events in West Virginia, and that was going to be our first Kentucky event.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I'm happy that it's growing. I know Louisville's growing, not for us, but there's a couple promotions in Louisville now, so they're it's really growing there. Um, I'm glad to see MMA coming back around here though. I know there's a lot of gyms and everybody was having to travel.
Yeah. Because my last fight, we
Whenever
had to drive to Indiana, which was about 3 hours
yeah,
away. We had to be there. It was an all day thing. Like we had to be there at 10 a.m. and I
wow,
didn't fight until 10 p.m.
oh
So
my
it was,
god,
yeah, it was
that's
a day. And then we
insane.
got back at like midnight or like 12:30.
Yeah.
So it was,
There's a lot of kickboxing in Indiana, like every weekend, but it's not sanctioned. It's a weird thing. The
yeah,
the
the
events are really
commission there
weird.
isn't really a thing, I think.
Yeah, yeah. You have a boxing commission that's super strict, and you have an MMA commission. I don't really know about them, but for kickboxing, nobody sanctions it. So it's just kind of like you could rent a gym, put a ring
Hmm.
together, sell some tickets of pay-per-view, and hope nobody
Yep.
gets hurt because you probably don't have insurance either.
Yep.
So it's definitely a weird, unique thing. Kentucky MMA used to be like that. It was unsanctioned. West Virginia, it was illegal, so we were all fighting in Kentucky or Ohio, wherever else. We would
Okay.
come to Kentucky, and it was unsanctioned here, so there was no commission. The promoters did whatever they wanted. I came one time, they had 20 fights on the card, ended up with 32. They were pulling people out of the crowd. People were just like, hey, I want to fight. And then, so yeah, come up in the ring. They'll get on the mic. Hey, old John here wants to fight tonight. Is anybody in the building 150 pounds wanting to fight? And then sure enough, somebody's like, hold my beer. I'm going to go fight.
Oh
And
my gosh.
it was wild. And
It's
I
funny
don't know
that
if
you say
Indiana's
that.
that crazy, but yeah,
Yeah.
it
No, it's
might
funny
be.
that you said that because literally, like, when we weren't sure that like we were gonna have a fight or anything, I was like, I'm just gonna show up. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, anybody want to fight?
So you guys did that in Indiana?
No, like for this
No.
one.
Oh,
For this one, we were all like kind of joking around. Like, it's like,
yeah.
hey, if I don't have a fight, I'm gonna show up, be ready, all my stuff on and everything.
Whatever it takes. Maybe we can do
Exactly.
that and find you one for next time. Like, hey, she was here. We need somebody for the next one. I don't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we've got 1 week to go. You've been training for a few months. We've had you scheduled for a while.
Yeah.
So tell me about your camp. I know it's been different with your opponent changing.
Hmm.
How's camp been going as far as just being physically ready for the fight? And I don't know. Yeah, just tell me about your training camp for this one.
Yeah, so my camp has really progressed a lot.
Yeah.
We started really simple, just like filling each other out because this is the first camp that MB has coached for me. So kind of just feeling each other out in the beginning. I mean, we've been going since January basically. Um, and then just each week we get a little harder, we progress a little bit more. I've only done basically do one sparring session per week.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're more on like pad sessions. Let's get that muscle memory going. Like I know how to kick. I've been doing it my whole life basically.
Yeah.
So we get that muscle memory, those combos going and everything. So when it comes to sparring's just a breeze. Um, but the training sessions each week has gotten harder and harder and harder, but my cardio has gotten better and better and better. And it's a world of a difference, honestly, from where I started. Even like my boyfriend has been to almost every training session. He's like, you have progressively just gotten better each week. And like, me, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't really feel it. But then I look on the outside in and I'm like, oh crap, like we just keep on pushing even more and more. Like, it's not like, oh, we're doing the same thing every week. It's like, no, we're going balls to the wall every week. Sorry, excuse my terminology, but we're going every week as hard as we can. And it's just progressively like whatever I can take, we're doing. And so that's really been beneficial in this fight camp. So this week is just going to be a breeze, just kind of like we have 4 pounds to go to make weight. That's just water weight, it's easy peasy to get off. So
That's
I've actually
Friday.
yeah,
That's
I
Friday's
actually
problem.
started this weight or this fight camp at 150, which is crazy because I used to walk around at 125.
Yeah.
Then I had a couple months that I really wasn't fighting much. I was just lifting, getting in the gym, put on a lot of muscle mass. So I started the camp at 150 and I've gotten down 11 pounds now or so, which has been crazy to even think about.
Yeah.
But we're still keeping the muscle mass on. Now just Friday is just going to be those 4 pounds water weight, easy peasy. Get in there.
Yeah. I guess weight wasn't really a big problem before it was a catch weight, right? What was it?
Yeah, it was 130 originally.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So it would have been even more.
Exactly. Well, it was 130
more.
originally. And I was like, okay, like I know I can do it because I definitely have done it before. But then this
now
one's 135. I was like, let's go. We're good.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't know what her weight was. I just figured, short notice.
Yeah.
Don't put a big issue in the weight.
I
think
told
Ava,
you, I was like, I'm good for these 3 weights. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because I can move fast at 125. I'm moving just as fast at 140 right now. So, and I'm kicking like a horse, I'm pretty sure. So we're moving.
I guess for 125, I mean, you just have to be there for like 2 minutes, right?
Exactly.
Be back up to 135 the next day.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I was walking around at that weight, so I was like, this is nothing. And then now I'm like, okay, now I actually have to focus on getting my weight down a little bit. But it's honestly been a great camp for my weight cut mentality wise. It's actually helped me keep insane while finishing my master's degree. Because I'm like, okay, I have graduation, then I have a fight, like 2 hand in hand almost things, but also I can kick the shit out of somebody and also go do schoolwork. So we were good there.
Any frustration you get on the finals or whatever, it's like, all right, I'll just take this out on somebody here next week.
Exactly. It's like, damn, I really had a tough week at school. All right, let's go spar. So it's been great every minute of it. I mean, I hate some of it because that's the life of a fighter. You're like, damn, I really don't want to do this today. But I'm thankful for this whole camp, and both my coaches honestly have been really sticking with me. Even when the Ava fight fell through, we're still playing it like we have a fight. So we were still training, we were still going after it. And so we were glad that we stayed like that when you messaged me that we did have a fight. So we're like, hey, we're still on plan. Like everything is going exactly how it needs to be. So yeah.
Yeah. Glad we kept you on.
Me too.
Well, I believe that. I mean, that's all I have for today. We went a little over the time that I thought we would go, but all good. Had a good conversation. Any final words to your fans or anybody else tuning in?
Nah, just you're not gonna be disappointed. You're gonna see us go out there, and we're gonna be the only female fight on that card, but we're gonna be a damn good fight. So absolutely
looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, you can tune in. You can get your tickets. Newline Cagefighting.com. Front row is sold out, but we still have second, third, and general admission. The pay-per-view is going to be on YouTube. You have to sign up for the membership. Make sure you choose the live pay-per-view or live pay-per-view level membership. It is a monthly subscription, so cancel that if you don't want to be billed again next month. All right. But yeah, looking forward to it. Next Saturday night, fights. The main card the jiu-jitsu matches start at 5, and main card starts at 7. So
yes, sir.
Tune in. Thanks, Keely.
Appreciate you, Keith.